everyone, it is Liam Caddison here, and we're reacting to another episode for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is episode number 12 of season 5. As I usually am with the show, I'm looking forward to delving into this episode. And last episode, fairly enjoyable. It wasn't the best of season 5, but it was still enjoyable, and it wasn't a bad episode by any means. There were some very, very interesting moments, especially, I guess you could say, unusual pairings, because we had Anya and Willow, who was the main focus of the last episode. But we also had Buffy and Tara have that nice little moment together. So there was some really, really unusual pairings, I would describe it as, but it was still very, very enjoyable. We also had a bit of focus on Buffy as we saw the fallout of the ending of her relationship with Riley. And Dawn as well. It's going to be very interesting to follow her story, because she managed to pick up on something, I'm sure, regarding Joyce, Giles, and Buffy talking about the key. She doesn't know, as far as I'm aware, she doesn't know that she is the key yet, but it depends on how much she managed to pick up in terms of their discussion, because I don't think she managed to pick up on every single syllable. She might have missed certain stuff, but I'm gathering she's picked up a morsel of information that was being discussed at the table, so it should be very interesting to follow that up. So yeah, again, like the last episode, before we do delve into this reaction, I wanna speak personally, because usually when it comes to discussing about a personal matter, I want to leave it until after the episode, because the episode will air for me, or will play for me, because it's not like it's on the network or whatever for me. But yeah, I will play the episode. There will be a personal matter that is shown in my face, and I want to have a deep discussion about that. Family is a really, really good example. Episode 6 of season 5, and this transpired because of my full reaction that I posted on Patreon. I usually record an episode on the same day, plop it onto Patreon, and someone, because Anya was a bit of a main focus in the last episode, someone decided to share me a theory regarding Anya that is pretty much picked up by the Buffy fans. It's something that the Buffy fans can they also acknowledge, and it's the fact that someone said that Anya could potentially be on the autistic spectrum. For those who don't know, I am mildly autistic myself, and when this user presented that theory to me, I did a little bit of mental backtracking to bits of Anya's in Buffy so far, including episode 11, because, like I said, that was recorded on the same day I managed to post that. And my mind was literally stunned, because I came to the deduction that there are similar traits that me and Anya present. Like, for example, we find it difficult to integrate into the human world. Like, whether it be with my friends, or whether it's me in public, it's very, very difficult for me to adjust to, the normal world, the norm, if you will. There's also bits where, you might say stuff that you don't mean, like, you might have one bit of context in your head, and the way it comes out sounds a bit skewed, so there is also that. But also the fact that we have those special interests. Of course, with Anya, she's got vengeance on her mind. With me, there's a lot of shows or movies that I love, or F1, for example, that I love to have a deep discussion about. So yeah, when that theory was presented, it was absolutely, it stunned me, especially with the fact that this is a show that I love so much. And like I said, I love talking about a personal subject, especially with this show, because they do personal subjects or real world subjects really well. And the fact that a character that I actually love as well could be on the spectrum, the fact that there are bits and pieces. Of course, it's not confirmed or denied, but the fact that there's a possibility that a character that I love and a show that I love is presenting a character that's potentially on the spectrum is really, really, it really, really means a lot to me. So I want to thank that user on Patreon for KT, I think she's called. Yeah, I want to thank her for pointing that out, because like I said, I was stunned reading that theory and realizing that we both share some things in common, as well as the fact that this is a character that I love so much that could be on the spectrum. So that's something that I wanted to talk about before coming into this episode, because of course it happened in the last episode and I usually do a little bit of a recap, so I thought this would be something that I could point out to the people on YouTube who might not see the comments on Patreon, that someone pointed this out for me. So yeah. But yeah, with that said, let's jump into this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with episode number 12 of season 5. So with that said, let's go.
Has found some information that may help us out.
About Glory?
Presumably. I think we'll find that out when they arrive.
Finally.
Could be very important.
Wait, they arrive? Oh no!
Now? Well, why do they have to come here?
We're not going to see the Watchers Council.
Hello, Buffy. Here's some stuff we know. Pip, pip.
Yeah, phones. See, I'd like them on phones.
What's so bad about them coming here? Aren't they good guys? I mean, Watchers. That's just like
Right? Come here.
Well, they're probably already on their way. Our old friend Quentin Travers is.
They put me through
God,
that
I'm
test
gonna-
and almost killed me. And then when I was freed, they
I
almost
can
killed me
already
again.
feel my brain cells
I really can't believe I'm
deteriorating
being
with the
killed right
Watchers
now.
Council
I don't like the sound of
arriving.
this. They don't sound very ex-demon compatible.
Are you sure they're English? I thought English people were gentler than normal. Maybe it won't be.
Drink. Oh, what is it?
Yeah, she's like vulnerable and she needs... You're just being more cray-cray by the second.
Man, you work here?
Yes, I do. Ever since I moved here from southeastern Indiana, where I was raised by both a mother and a father.
You don't have to talk to him. She works.
I am human. I mean, she is,
this
but
review. No one said anything.
I've
to me.
always been human.
Let's sit down and talk about it over here.
You all stand around and look somber.
Y'all should have warned me episode 12 I'd need some
Used
paracetamol.
to respect us, Charles. Used to be one of us.
You used to pay me. If you recall, firing me was not my idea.
Touche.
The academic community regarding the death of Rasputin.
There's also a near consensus about Columbus, you know, until someone asked the Vikings what they were up to in the 1400s, and they're like discovering this America-shaped continent. I'm only saying, you know, it might...
It's called studying history. You can sit down now. Unless you have something else to add, Professor?
Leave her
Summer.
be.
Come on, you're here to learn, Professor.
Oh yeah, take that rage out on this vampire. Poor guys are like, what did I do?
Or maybe your beauty's fading. The stress of slaying, aging you prematurely. Things not as high, not as firm.
You know what, Spike?
Wow.
The more I get to know you, the more I wish I didn't.
Or maybe you just don't hold their interest.
Jesus, his confidence is so far, like it's skyrocketed up his ass.
Glory can find her? Do something to her? Why would I do that?
I don't know, sir. She just said to tell you to do it. For her.
Do it.
That was her message.
Well,
Or
I've
else.
got a message for Glory, too.
We've been developing a sort of a hybrid
Ooh.
fighting style.
Or by resisting our recommendations.
Resisting your recommendations. She
See,
fails
this is
if you
them
don't
trying
know
to
what you
domineer over her.
How much under your thumb do you think we are?
How much do you want our help?
She's not your bloody instrument, and you have no right to do any of this.
Giles.
Oh, told.
But obviously, we could shut this place down permanently.
You can't do that.
Oh,
You don't
piss
have that
off.
Of course we do, and a great deal more. In fact, if you insist on fighting us, we'll arrange to have Mr. Giles deported within the day. Never set foot in this country again. Or perhaps you're used.
You're the only one that understands. Probably because I haven't sucked your brain out yet.
Bloody hell.
Makes me so mad. If I could just get my hands on him.
Just
You know?
go to the hospital.
I'll just find her. Girlfriends, actually. Yes, we're girlfriends. We're in love. We're lovers. We're lesbian, gay type lovers.
I meant your relationship with the Slayer.
But now he knows.
Have you mastered any fighting disciplines over the years?
No.
Hair pulling.
You have no special skills or powers.
We're not forgetting the best fight of the Buffy verse.
Neither of you.
Just enthusiasm for killing the demons. Go deadness for the demons.
One of those top levels. 5.
So you up the bidding.
You're registered
Willow.
as practicing witches under the names as you gave them to me?
Registered? Oh, yes, of course, we're registered.
Do either of you know anything about the key?
This is so awkward, but
Sounds
I'd think you'd want to kill her. You've killed Slayers before.
Heard of me, have you?
I wrote my thesis on you.
Well, well.
is she charmed by Spike?
So, elbow, strike.
How have you been training her?
I'm trained to win.
You know what?
Exactly,
I'm gonna
and
have to do it
she's
my way, guys.
been pretty handy most of the times. Yeah, there we go, Buffy. Oh my god, they're gonna... Oh. They were expecting too much. To follow a specific path rather than seeing how she does overall, if you get what I mean. Yeah! Glory!
Long day, sweetie?
You should get down on your knees and worship me.
But oh no.
The
You
key!
still think it's neat
Oh, no.
having Slayer strength.
Move.
Ooh, big deal. Stronger than humans. Who isn't? I could crush the life from you as easy as you'd break a nail. But I need the key. Kid,
You got... Uh-oh, no!
come here a sec.
Leave her out of this.
Obviously, this is a one-time only deal. Next time we meet, something you love dies bloody. You know you can't take me. You know you can't stop me.
This is it. She's so powerful against her. And it would help if a certain bunch of handsies gave information.
You have to look after them.
Well, that's a boatload of manly responsibility to come flying out of
Spike,
nowhere.
this is
What's
your
the matter,
chance.
Slayer?
Get on her
Not
good
feeling
books.
100%?
No.
They didn't put a chip in your head, did they?
No.
Be funny if they did.
Spike, I need an answer now. In
on.
or out.
Don't make a lot of noise. Passions is coming on.
There we go.
Oh, do you think Timmy's really dead?
Oh, no. She can just sew him back together. He's a doll, for God's sake.
Joyce and
What about the wedding?
Spike are gonna...
I mean, there's no way they're gonna go through with that.
Guys, any way we could not do this?
I don't think the Watchers Council will excuse knights in shining armor. I mean, 2 of your guys just got taken out. Chances are not good for you, buddy.
Okay. Let's see what you are.
It's Old Man Jenkins!
Or who you are.
If it takes 100 men, we send 100 men. And if it takes 1,000, we send 1,000.
And if it takes 1,000,000...
So long as you protect the key, the Brotherhood will never stop until we destroy it and you.
Oh, they want to take it away from Glory.
Power. I have it. They don't. This bothers them.
Yeah, that's it. And it
Gloria
bothers you.
Came to my home today to civilized conversation. Why? Because she needs something from me.
Exactly.
Came to beg me to let you back in. To give your jobs, your lives, some semblance of meaning.
Oh, this is great. Oh, Oh! Oh!
I'm fairly certain I said no interruptions. Go away. You'll contact me if and when you have any further information about Glory. Magic Shop will remain open. Mr. Giles will stay here as my official watcher, reinstated at full salary.
Retroactive.
To be paid retroactively from the month he was fired. I will continue my work with the help of Chiz and a 1,000-year-old ex-demon.
Willow's a demon?
The boy? No power there.
The boy's clocked more field time than all of you combined. He's part of the unit.
That's why they speak.
I've clocked field time.
Now, I think he's understanding me.
Oh! Look at the smirk.
Your terms are acceptable.
As they should be.
Well, that's the thing, you see. Glory isn't a demon.
What is she?
She's a god.
What?
Oh.
Wait a second. She's a god? Ah, shit. Well, I mean, first time for I don't think a Slayer's killed a god before, so what does that make Ben then? Is he like a I don't know, is he Jesus? That's a problem. That was powerful. Pun not intended. No, that was really glorious. Again, pun not intended, I gotta stop. No, I just absolutely loved this. And that bit at the very end was just... It was so good. It was so good to see the Watchers Council get what they deserved. They were whipped. Like, yeah, they finally got what they deserved. Because they have... this is it. They're so used to getting their own way. They're so used to people listening to what they have to say. And as long as they stand out on top, there we go. But now they have to listen to Buffy's terms, and they've reluctantly accepted, so... That was so amazing. Oh, it just... It cured me from the aneurysm I was going to suffer, because as soon as they were mentioned that they were arriving, I wanted to face plant my desk, but it would probably knock my microphone off, but I think it would have been worth it, wouldn't it? I don't know. Oh, yeah, that was a really amazing episode. I just really loved how this episode transpired, especially with especially with how this had Buffy realizing her growth in power. Because people approach her, they intimidate her, and there's this transition that resides in Buffy. Like, there's a lot of the episodes where there's fear going on for her. And it was during the nights of the Byzantium that she realized she held that importance, because there is that fear with the Watchers Council arriving. That encounter with Glory, yeah, it definitely added a bit of fear, especially knowing what Glory is capable of. And she had that battle with the Knights of the Byzantium, and like, even though they threatened her by saying, "Oh, we'll send thousands of men after you," didn't flinch. And she then came to the magic box and started to realize, I'm not going to let anyone control me, because at the end of the day, they need me. People need me. I herald importance to not just Glory, but to the Watchers, to anyone. They approach me because I'm... Yeah. it's just really amazing. It's just really amazing to just see Buffy grow like that. And not just that though, but as a note for her character growth as well, it's really amazing. This is it though. They want that power play over Buffy. And Buffy's taking a stand saying, you know what? It ain't happening. I'm sick of this. There's a limit she's reached, and she's started to say, you know what? There's a reason why people are wanting to approach Buffy. They want to try and make me feel small. In the end of the day, do you want to know why? Because then they have power. And I have the ability to have that power. If I don't utilize it, then they're going to win. So they want me to feel small so I can feel powerless. It honestly does remind me about like Buffy's speech, especially. It reminds me about like if you're so obsessed in terms of hate to an individual, like a YouTuber, for example. This is a very, very great example because you have trolls who are obsessed in, not in a good way, not in a, oh, I love your content, in a way that they want that power over the YouTuber. They want to make that YouTuber, for example, feel so shit. They want to force them off the internet. They want power at the end of the day. And in the end, like, you can stand out on top. Like, I've got the one with the block button. I've got the one with the sass, and I can shame you on Twitter and make you look like a clown at the end of the day. That's it with Buffy. Like, you can stand out on top, and all of these comments that try to domineer over her, she can just retort that and say, no, we're going to play it by my rules, because I'm sick of you trying to feel like you've got power over me just because you've said some fancy words, you've strung out your sentence in a very intimidating way, but that's what you want. You want me to feel below you. You want me to feel like the insect, but that's not happening. So, and insects can be very, very scary to some people, so yeah, just love that. It's just really amazing. It's just really beautiful stuff to see. So yeah, especially with how they just wanted dominance over Buffy, the Watchers Council. And not just that, though, but they even threatened Giles. Like, here we go. You know what time it is. If you've been watching my Buffy and Angel reactions, it's time for a rant against the Council. Like, they once again, as typical, utilized love against Buffy. They tried to use that against Buffy in order to get their own petulant way. They threatened to close the magic box. They threatened to deport Giles. And they tried to take advantage of Buffy in every area they saw fit. Like, they could have reluctantly said, okay, well, here's the information about Glory. She's a god. So, yeah, it wouldn't have made for an interesting episode if the Watchers Council arrived saying, here's your papers, we're on our way. Like, they want her to be a puppet. And this is it. This episode entailed in the what... Okay, well, what dropped there? I have no idea. But this is... they wanted Buffy back on their side. Like, on their side to control her. They wanted her to be the puppet. Because this is it, though. She's not human to them. They don't give a shit about her humanity. They don't treat her as a person. They treat her as a puppet. Because they don't have any care in the world if she ends up dead. They don't recognize that Buffy is... They also don't recognize that Buffy is not your run-of-the-mill slayer. Like, those stupid idiots think they have a chance to normalize her. I mean, look at the fight exercise, when they tried to enforce what was best in their eyes, rather than assess Buffy based on her own techniques, on her own strengths and qualities. It's just like throwing in a person who has no preparation whatsoever into a math exam. So, without any kind of revision, they just threw her in as if that's going to work. It worked all right, because Philip, wasn't he called? Yeah, he got a broken rib, but, proves your strength. So, yeah, again, I don't know why. I don't feel as pissed off. I think it's the fact that Buffy authorized dominance over the Watchers Council. It wasn't the other way around. It wasn't them leaving with a shit-eating grin on their face. It's the fact that Buffy finally has them cornered. It's no longer Buffy cornered like they... This is it. It's such an eye-opener. It's so surreal for the Watchers Council because they're like, shit, we normally get our own way, but we're normally throwing out these petulant demands in order for us to stand out on top. And it's so surreal for them because now Buffy's here saying, no, I'm sick of this power play that you're trying to authorize over me. Here's how we're going to play it, and it's going to be my rules. And if you don't like it, then... So yeah. So it's quite a shock to the system for them that a puppet has overthrown the puppeteers. So, yeah. And it was really great, like, that speech, because, like, Buffy even accounted for her, for the Scoobies. Like, she noted the importance of every Scooby on the, against the Watchers Council. There was only one member that I really liked, and that was the female, because at least she had a more animated attitude about her, whereas the other guys in suits were thinking, okay, well, authority, yeah, we're just pedantic, no-lived cretins. There we go. There's my rant. Whenever the Watchers Council... This is it. Like, and this is going to be part of the course for other episodes, because just because Buffy has said, okay, well, I've got the high ground, you're going to listen to me, and they've reluctantly accepted, doesn't mean that, okay, well, suddenly we're the good guys. Suddenly, you know what? We're wrong. We regret our life choices and being shitty people. They're going to be, like, I guarantee if they do show up again, and I'm sure they will, they're going to continue throwing out some bullshit spiel and try to stand out on top against Buffy and try to, like, this is it. Like, I do worry that this speech is going to come back and bite Buffy on the ass, and they're going to turn around and say, oh, look who was unwise. See, this is why we're on top, etc. Yeah. I will just throw a rant in for days against the Watchers Council. It's just that they piss me off so much. They're like well, I would say Dolores Umbridge is the Hogwarts version of the Watchers Council. I guess Travers, really, but yeah, like, this is it. They both share something in common. They do anything to piss you off. So, yeah. And it's just so great whenever who they're trying to control decides to smack them into reality and give them a check about, okay, well, I'm above you. You don't have any control over me, so... Anyways, enough ranting. Yeah, it was really good though, like seeing how Buffy has progressed so well, not just in terms of her own character, but in this episode, because like I said, the couple of occasions there were intimidating moments, and whereas I don't expect Buffy to drag Joyce and Dawn out of Spike's crypt, because it's still common sense to leave them there, especially after Glory's warning, and now she knows that Glory's a god. There is no longer that fear in her. Like, she's standing out on top. She's, like, I fully expect her to, like, even though she now knows that the stakes are a bit higher with the fact that Glory is a god, it's not put her back to square one in terms of being intimidated, because she's lost to her twice. And Glory, the cray-cray lady in the red dress that she is so confident, and she has every right to be fair. Like, not just that, but she has made mention about how easy Slayers are to her. Like, Slayers. Wow. It's like, I don't know, Buffy taking on a vampire, your average run-of-the-mill vampire. It's nothing that intimidating, apart from that one vampire who stabbed Buffy. But you know, it's like the Daleks in Doctor Who. Like, there's always one. But Glory doesn't flinch, and in this episode she had more, like, she condescended her further. She named called her. She she broke into her house by ease and even threatened her. And this is it. She didn't even flinch for 1 second. She had, like, the confidence skyrocketed out the house that the Summers need a new roof, because that's how strong her confidence is. She has no reason whatsoever to be intimidated by Buffy, especially since in that speech alone, she had the authority, because Buffy was startled. Like, Dawn was in the house, the thing that Glory is seeking, and it's a good job that Glory doesn't have any spidey sense or whatever, because that would have taken things up to 11. But, yeah, she's in the house with the key, and now she's threatening her family, and based on her own experiences, that's pretty concerning. So, yeah, but it did leave me tense, that moment when she broke into the house, because she was able to do anything she wants and not feel vulnerable. She had the, like I said, confidence. Poof, it's not even in this universe anymore. But yeah, she's a god. Bugger, as they say. Oh boy. It definitely does raise the stakes, doesn't it? Because, you know, you got your master, you got Angelus, you got the mayor who turns into a giant snake. Adam is like, ugh. But now you got a god. This is like from one extreme to the other. So it's just going to be really interesting to see how you're going to defeat a god. Although we did see her deprived at the start, like she needs to keep feeding on intelligence to preserve her state. It seems like she kind of stripped, because we saw her all sweaty and deprived from energy at the start of the episode, and it was only that person that she deprived that she was fully restored. So, like, you could try to isolate her, starve her, but, like, how do you trap a god like Glory? Like, we've seen her contain so much power. It's like, how do you do that? But yeah, and the Scoobies need to know that knowledge first. So yeah, the testimonies from the Scoobs were very, very funny when they were commenting about their experiences with siding with Buffy. Especially Willow and Tara. Like, it was adorable but funny at the same time, because you knew what that guy meant when he was speaking about relationships, and then Willow and Tara just, like, one-upping each other. Oh, we're friends, great friends. We're girlfriends, we're lovers, lesbian lovers. And, you know, that guy's like, that's great and all, but I was speaking about your relationship with Buffy. So, and then Anya's being so wholesome as well, giving herself an alias, like, I've always been human, never a demon. So, like, you even said, Willow's a demon, trying to keep up the charade. At that point, it didn't matter, because the Watchers finally realized, well, shit, we're buggered. So, but it was still very, very funny, because Anya's very, very wholesome. And I really loved that bit with Joyce and Spike, watching Passions, like, bonding as well. Like, this is it. I've missed their kind of interactions, because episode 8 of season 3, I think it was, they had a bit of a discussion going on, and it was very, very wholesome then. And now that... See, this is it. Like, Spike has been given his first big break to prove his worth to Buffy, instead of being in the way. She turned to him, so this is pivotal for him if he has any chance on getting with Buffy. I'm just very curious on how Joyce would handle it, because, like, this is it. Joyce and Spike, they already have a good, like, friendly connection anyways from season 3 episode 8 and in this episode. Like, just them bonding over passions was just great. And I don't think Spike watches anything else, so it was no surprise that he was going to watch Passions. But just to see them gossiping about, oh, do you think Timmy's dead, etc., do you think they're going to go through the wedding? I love it so much. But yeah, this was a great episode. I'm not sure if we're going to see the Knights of the Byzantium again. It seems like because they don't seem to be connected to Glory, but they do want the key to be destroyed, and they did send that threat to Buffy. So they could crop around again, but I wouldn't be surprised as well at the same time if, we don't. So yeah, but amazing episode. I loved this so freaking much, and yeah. How do we stop a god? I think we need a Wikipedia, like a wiki. How does one kill a god? So, yeah, but we'll cross that bridge at some point, I'm sure, because I'm like, this is it. Glory has to be stopped. Because I don't think she's gonna, I don't think for the next 3 seasons she's gonna be the main enemy. So she has to be stopped. But at the same time, how do you stop a god? It's just gone from bad to worse for Buffy because, she was already powerful enough. And now she's been given a reason to why she is powerful. Because the cray-cray lady in the red dress is a god. Because of course she is. Anywho, yeah, excited to see what happens next time for Buffy, and I loved this episode so much. Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 if I was going to give it a ranking. It's a very, very impressive episode. No, it was just great, and I'm excited to see what happens next time with this season for Buffy. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!